to get a nice orange on this thing. That's better. Now that's good. Okay, so the benefits of schizophrenia. One of the benefits of a schizophrenic mindset is that you see a connection between everything. So what? What? Hang on. No, forget that. I don't know. I think I had a point there a minute ago. Okay, but I just made a movie about narcissism, thoughts on narcissism. And I think that has got my single greatest line. I will never trump this. It's impossible. What I said was, Justin Trudeau's mother, Margaret Trudeau, once said that the only woman who ever satisfied him was Jack Nicholson. Do I remember that exactly? Okay, so yeah, it's so like everything does remind me of everything else. So I'm pretty sure it was that. Margaret Trudeau once said that the only woman that satisfied him was Jack Nicholson. Something like that. Okay, so that relates back to the whole thing about and I believe this to be a fairly unique take on storytelling. I mean, it's in a sense common, but I don't know how really deliberately intentional it is. So the thing is that when I'm going through life, I'm just constantly thinking, how would I describe this? I think now I'm thinking, well, how could I make one of these things? So I used to think about it in terms of writing. Now I think about it in terms of talking. But I'm just constantly thinking, how do you describe this? Is there something significant here? And one of the benefits, one of the extra things that I do is I try to make it as precise as possible. So I've been like, how many people consciously do this? You have an experience, you describe that experience later, usually something funny. You know, life's sad enough. There's usually something funny. And then I try to tell it exactly, and I try to tell it a couple more times. So in that way I can maintain a sort of a consistency. Because normally when you remember a story, you're sort of remembering a memory of a story, and that's why memories can change so much. But if you deliberately set out, and there was one case where this was a serious attack on me, physical attack, that I wanted to remember really precisely, and so I told that story 1,000 times. I remember that thing like it happened yesterday. And in part because I just tried to tell the story absolutely precisely. So I should try to remember, did I say that Justin Trudeau had said, the only woman that had ever satisfied me was Jack Nicholson? Did I say that, or did I say something different? It would be funny probably in a number of different iterations, but I would like to remember precisely what that was, because I think it was my greatest moment. Really, that's just... talk about pronoun confusion. Wow. So whatever that is, that's not a problem with gender, I'm pretty sure. Oh, okay, so I guess I remember how I thought this was associated with something. Okay, so I've been making these recordings for 30 years, I guess. But the problem is that it was only until, I think it was like 3 months ago, that I ever started listening to them. Because I made recordings as a language teacher. I don't listen to my own recording, right? Like, why would you do that? I guess if you're really some kind of perfectionist, you might do that. But, I didn't listen to them. And people would come back and they would say, a good cure for insomnia. I really think that was one of the main ones. That people would put it on as they're, fighting to go to sleep. And they literally fall asleep. So that was the one thing. I honestly think that's the main thing. And then other people would say, it was funny, or I remember people saying, well, it was great, but I just laughed the whole entire time. I laughed for an hour and a half. You can't say I was practicing my English. I didn't do anything but laugh. And I remember it's Eva, she didn't do anything but laugh. Yeah, so the thing is that, they really consistently, they'd say, good insomnia cure, funny and useful and interesting and all that. But they would always say, you make a lot of mistakes, dude. And, whatever. I just think this is one of the benefits of a schizophrenic mindset.